with Katie and Lindsey.
Hi, my name is Katie Hutchinson, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm also a certified mediator.
And I'm Lindsey Kearns. I'm the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com, and I'm also a conscious certified trauma-informed life coach.
Yes. So today we're continuing with school shootings. These shootings are just
not just school shootings,
mass shootings.
Because they're everywhere.
They're
not just
everywhere. So now we're up to 202 mass shootings since January of this year, over 20 a week.
The sad reality is that our country is in a mental health crisis. Mm-hmm. It's time that we start to acknowledge and understand that both our bodies and our minds need regular care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as I was discussing on Wednesday, there was a boy, and he was planning a school shooting with a couple of his friends, and he was pulled over by a cop.
It was a fascinating interview.
Yeah, it was very fascinating. And he went to jail instead of, shooting up wherever he was going to shoot up, at school, I think it was. And he has talked a lot about what to do and his feelings about the people that decide to do these mass shootings. Yeah. And what he was saying, again, is that he felt like he was an outcast. He felt like a loner. He felt like there was something wrong with him. And it turns out that he won most bashful in high school in his senior year. And instead of being like most crazy, most unique, most whatever, people were trying to reach out to him. He says later he read in his yearbook, people saying, oh, I don't know you very well, but I really want to get to know you. And in his journals, he kept writing saying, if only I had gone to this baseball game, if only I could ask this girl out, if only.
And this is where the mental health crisis comes into play, because he's stuck in this space thinking these things. There are people reaching out to try to help him, and I think that there's a lot more often we have with the mass shootings where there's no one reaching out to help them. There's nobody there to try to guide them or let them know that there's other options and there's other alternatives.
Right. And I think one thing that's really important that we have not talked about, Lindsey, is the fact that I think that other people should be held accountable. So this thing that happened in Uvalde, I hope I said that right. This boy was talking to a girl. Now, granted, it was only about 3 weeks that he was talking to her, but he had said to her, these kids better watch out. I just got a gun, blah, blah, blah. She definitely said she was worried, but she didn't say anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And other people need to be held accountable.
I think that that's starting to change, because we are seeing more instances. Like just this week, one of our local high schools just had a threat, and one of the students saw something on the social media site and turned it into the authorities and did the right thing. And that's what we need to encourage. That's why I keep saying we need to talk about it.
We do.
We've discussed other things on the show politically. America does have a great buyback program for their guns. No one utilizes it. But a big thing would be, blocking the import of these guns.
That's huge.
However,
that's huge. But who knows about this buyback program?
Everybody. It's commonplace. It's been since the late 90s. So, but yeah, no, it's a big, and it's a good program. They give a lot of money back for the guns.
I want to learn more about this.
So, anyway, it was really big in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now it's just still there, but we're a country based on freedom, right? And that's why it worked for Australia. Australia was a country based on prison.
That was many, many years ago.
Well, but that's how that country was formed.
That's how
our country was formed for freedom. And I just don't see, the gun control, it needs a lot of help and attention, but with the two political parties being so split and divided,
need to come together, though. That's what they did in Australia.
But that's why we need to do it from our homes.
We need to start in our homes.
We're talking about it. Our biggest line of defense is talking about it with our kids, our friends, our families, coming together as a community, looking out for each other, right? And speaking up.
A bunch of kids across the nation have done walkouts, and people are proposing that they're going to do a walkout every Friday until something is done. Now, will this really happen? I don't know. It's been 3 days, and
like you were saying,
very many people are not talking.
These behavioral analysis units, not only in the police forces, but also in schools.
Yes, they're called behavioral risk assessments.
Yeah, the guidance counselors should be trained in how to do that.
That could be helpful. It's an intense program where you learn about how to detect if somebody is violent. It is more, the school counselors have a different training than the licensed marriage and family therapists and psychologists. So these people, myself included, would have to be highly trained And then also the
Yeah.
staff, the police officers would have to be highly trained on mental health. And they're not, as far as I know, they don't know much about mental
No,
health.
they don't. And mass shootings really do create a heightened societal anxiety
Mhm.
around all of us. And it leaves those affected with a lot of long-term problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Sadly, though, a lot of times you were saying this stuff gets swept right under the carpet.
Mm-hmm. It's already happening. It's been 3 days and people aren't even talking about it. I have my kids at 3 different schools, and every single day I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. And I go over, like I said before, what to do, where to hide in each location
Yeah.
at their school.
It's so important to just keep talking to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very, very important that we keep this conversation going.
Mm-hmm. So if you're suffering from anxiety, you know, because of these shootings, which would be natural, most of us are, I have a relaxation technique that I think is awesome because you can do it anywhere and people don't even have to know that you're doing it. You don't even have to shut your eyes, although I think it's helpful, but you don't have to. And I want to do that with Lindsey.
Yeah, so whether you were involved in a shooting, whether you're a first responder, whether you're one of those, and this happens to both of us, where we get anxiety from watching the news, we feel it, you're really afraid of it. There are things we can do to re-trigger our parasympathetic nervous system back into control. So we want to go over that today.
So we want the parasympathetic nervous system to take over the sympathetic nervous system. And it's when the sympathetic nervous system is running on high that our anxiety is through the roof.
Right.
So,
and we're not making good choices. So this breathing technique will help. So let's do it.
So I'm going to run Lindsey through it. Okay. So she's my client here and she's very anxious and I'm going to run her through it. So your feet on the floor, your hands open and on your lap, everything unwrapped, nothing, you know, not holding yourself, etc. You can shut your eyes. I'm going to ask her to shut her eyes and we're going to run through this technique. So Lindsey, I want you to imagine your most comfortable spot that you can imagine, the place that you enjoy the most. I knew it was the beach. Normally we won't be talking like this, but we're friends. Okay, so it's the beach. She's imagining the beach because that's very peaceful and calming to her. Okay, so imagine that. And then don't worry. I'm going to tell you everything to do so you don't have to worry about it. And I'm actually going to do the counting for you. So every area this is called progressive relaxation. And every area that I ask you to tighten up, I will count to 30 seconds and then you're going to let go of that.
Well, we'll do it a little bit faster today.
Okay,
just
we'll do 15
for the interest
seconds.
of the time.
Yes,
but
okay,
know
that's
that you
good.
want to do
15
30
seconds is good? Okay. Okay, so Lindsey, I want you to take your feet and I want you to tighten them up as hard as you can. And that means pull them together, just pull all that energy into your feet. And I'm going to count to 15 and you keep thinking about the wonderful ocean and the beach. So I'm counting to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let go of it and notice the anxiety, the adrenaline, the epinephrine, the tension leave your body through your feet. Now you're going to do your calves. And you're going to tighten your calves, and this usually means moving your feet kind of at an angle, and you can tighten both at the same time. So please do that and think about the ocean. I'm counting to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let go of your calves. Let go of your feet. Let the epinephrine, the adrenaline, all the bad stuff go through your body and out your feet. Now we're going to do our thighs, and we're just going to tighten our thighs, almost like we're in a squat, but we're in a sitting position. And you can actually tighten your buttocks while you're doing this. So I want you to do that. And stop laughing, Lindsey. And keep thinking of the beach. And 15 seconds. That's right. This is exercise too. You are burning calories, and that is what is burning up this adrenaline.
Well, and I can feel, as you're asking me to release, the anxiety is coming out.
Yeah.
Right. So you do this all the way up through the top, right?
Yes.
And you can do that quietly within your own head.
You can do it quietly. Nobody needs to know. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think they get the point. We'll just
So you're going to go up. Yeah. So we did the thighs. I won't do it all, but so we did the thighs and the buttocks, and then you're going to do your stomach, and then you're going to do your hands and your arms. I break them up into 2, and then I do the face, which people don't want to do because you're like, okay.
I'll do it.
But nobody has to see that, or you can decide
But
not
it feels
to do the
good.
face.
I understand that, like, relieving it. And then what was the breathing? The 5.
And the 5 I think is too long.
Which
Depends
one was
on
it
your.
that you were
Yeah,
that we did before?
I do. It's either 3 to 5. It just depends on your lung capacity. But you breathe in. Let's just say 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, and let it out. 1, 2, 3. Out your mouth if you can. This is going to calm down your heart. If you're having a panic attack, you're going to keep doing this. This can help bring you back and out of the panic attack.
Yeah. So these are just 2 tools that are really important that you can snap yourself out of, your panic pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The visualization too is an important part of it because you're
Huge.
imagining yourself in this beautiful spot. That definitely helps to ease your mind and release a little bit more serotonin.
Yep, it's huge, or
Yeah.
huge, as Trump would say.
So, in addition, we want to encourage you guys to exercise, sleep enough, eat right,
sleep,
those
and
basics.
exercise. Yeah, and of course,
take
eat
care
right.
of yourself. Show yourself some love. Be kind. Be gentle on yourself because we're all going through it. It's a scary, scary time, and hopefully, sooner rather than later, they'll come up with these behavioral.
We need to come
analysis
together. Yeah, risk
programs,
behavioral assessment teams. Yeah, and I just want to point this out because I know I've experienced this, having anxiety and depression and other issues, where people will say to me, even my family, "Well, but you have everything going for you." Do I think I have everything going for me? No, but they'll say,
greener.
"Oh, you have everything going for you. You shouldn't be depressed." Well, nobody chooses to be depressed, and because you can't see the depression. And because you can't see the anxiety and the fear, then a lot of people don't take it seriously. And it's just as serious as having a physical condition. You just can't see it.
The depression will lead to physical conditions. And then the doctors are like,
true.
I don't know what's creating
That's
this.
true.
I don't know what's creating this.
Mhm.
And you're like, it's the stress, it's
This
the depression.
And the body are all one. They're
Yes.
all working together.
Yep.
So let's work as a community. Let's come together. Let's forget
Yeah.
about politics and let's come together and save our children and save our
as
people.
we always say, true change is only going to come through our homes in this country.
Right.
It's up to us as parents, as community members, as responsible adults to create that change.
Now I have a question for you. What about, there are a number of abusive families, let's face it, that's never going to stop. How do we deal with that?
There's somebody in there that's going to have to break that cycle.
Somebody
Usually
needs
the
to,
kids.
somebody's going to need to
Usually
know what's
the
happening.
kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we need to start
We
to
need
speak
these
up.
risk assessments.
We need teachers, we need coaches, we need everybody speaking up and doing something.
Absolutely. All right, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you
Yes.
back here on Monday, and please stay safe out there.
Happy Memorial Day.
That's right.
Yeah.